So welcome to the Crafting Club meeting Zoom class, and this is Picture Pebbles, and we're going to have lots of fun with these. I actually bought these. I actually ordered these. I didn't know how big they'd be. These are called 3X, and they're so huge. And so I had to buy some big magnets to attach. And you could see what my plan might be because I have a bunch of X's and O's I've started. But the magnets, they're great for magnets. So here they are, some magnets that I did. And I actually put one of the Picture Pebbles on a glass jar. And it was just one of these jars, it's a sliced mushroom jar. I soaked the label off, and then I painted the lid, and I put one of the Picture Pebbles on top. So you can do stuff like that with yours. These are some pendants I made a long time ago, some of my artwork, and I just did the technique and stuck them in a little cabochon or bale, whatever that's called. And so these are fun. I gave them to friends, and I was selling them for a while, actually. So that was fun. And these, of course, these are the extra large ones. So I'm going to just show you how to do the technique and what supplies you need. So I'll start by telling you need something, of course, to work on. Like this is a little wax paper palette. You can use just any kind of newsprint, anything just to protect your surface. The most important thing are little Picture Pebbles. These are from the dollar store. They're kind of a nice, I really like them because they are slightly irregular and they look really pretty. They're really good for a lot of things. In fact, I'm going to get some more and get some grout and do some things with that too. But they make great Picture Pebbles and they're very inexpensive. And I got these on Amazon. See, they're perfectly round and they're perfectly clear. I mean, there's no variation at all, and they're kind of thin, but they're really pretty. And they actually came in a pack like this. So I got the magnets with the pebbles, and I thought that was cool. That was Amazon, and
Karen, what would you, if you wanted to get some on Amazon, what would be the name of it be?
Flat marbles, or I think I can give you the link, Leah,
Okay.
the exact link on where I got these. So
all right,
I will send you that. So those. Okay, and then the extra large ones, they were huge, humongous. But those also I got on Amazon, and I thought, oh no, they're too big. But actually I found some fun uses for it, and I'll share with you what I'm doing with that. So I want to next thing is you have your pebbles flat, and you can get colors as well. There's a couple of products that I like to do the the glue stuff to put the image on the back. This Diamond Glaze is by Judykins. It's very easy to find. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it at many stores, and it's a very clear, just clear. And I really like this. And then there's this stuff called Annie Howe's Glamour Glaze. This one's a little harder to find, but I do believe it's available. AnnieHowe's.com is where I think I got it. And it's nice, but it's very, it actually, if you get it on your hands, it's really hard to get off. So I know it's a really good adhesive, and it probably has a lot of polymer in it or something. So if you're going to use this, I recommend using gloves. If you're just using this, it may, your hands should, it should come off easy enough. So I did try Mod Podge and it failed, but I think Mod Podge would work on the smaller stones. On the bigger stones, it did not. It just peeled right off. So I just think that maybe Mod Podge isn't the stuff to use. And you'll need some craft paint, or just any kind of paint to paint on the back of your stones when they dry. Another thing is, this is the cement E6000. I use it all the time for any jewelry or metal. If you want to put glass or metal or anything that's super strong and flexible. So that is important. You need a pair of scissors, a pencil, and I use an X-Acto knife and a burnisher sometimes, but these are not necessary. These you don't need but I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I like to finish things, and a little bit of maybe a brush, and that's it. So I wanted to show you how fun this is. So I'm going to put a glove on, especially, well, maybe I'll use the Judykins, but still I'm going to wear a glove just because. try to save my hands since I wash them so much nowadays. So I'm going to do the little ones first. I'll do one of these. So I found you can use magazine pages, and that's what I forgot to tell you is yes, you can use magazines. This is a scrapbook page. I found these really cool vintage um, magazines. They're really funny, actually. Back in the old days when things were so much different. But here we go. I love this one, this little lady. But you can use good glossy magazines or just any kind of magazine. Another thing is you can use laser jet prints. You can use photographs. You can also use washi paper. Like this one's really pretty. It's a Japanese design. And what I love about it, it has this gold, and the gold actually really pops on the pebble. So you can use all kinds of things and just experiment. And I want to tell you, if you make a boo-boo and you don't like what you've done and it's dried, you can still soak it for a long time in water and remove it. So you can always reverse. So that's no worries. Just enjoy the process. So the first thing I'll do is there's two ways. You can just put the pebble here. I'll just do this. You can just stick it right on. Find a picture that you want. Like let's see that, and you see that it sort of magnifies and it becomes really gorgeous. So every picture just looks really neat. And the one way to do it is to just put it directly on the pebble. And you don't want a whole lot. I found that if I put too much, then I'm in trouble. So I'm just going to put a little bit right in the center of this. It's not a whole lot. It's very kind of a small amount. And I'm just going to stick it on this. And I'm going to slide it around until I'm going to press. And you want to press it so all the little bubbles come out of and you see as it's still sliding around, then I know it's not quite stuck yet. And I see I have a lot of adhesive on the side. So I'm just going to take a baby wipe and just kind of wipe it off so that I don't have just a whole big glob. So that's on there pretty good. I'm just going to let that sit. Now that needs to dry. Now that's one way. It's very simple. What you do is after you're finished, you cut out, take your scissors, and I'll just do it real quick. I've got one here somewhere. There it is. You take, these have already been put on. So when they're dry, completely dry, I would actually say dry overnight just to be safe. And cut around the edge of your glass. And the scissors will not hurt the glass so that you get as close as you can to that. And now I've got that one. And you'll see that it's a pretty smooth and round, pretty nice. But it's not perfect. You can see there's a little rough edge. So one thing I like to do, I take a little sandpaper and I just sand off. That's just because I like to be kind of a perfectionist. So, but it also helps when you're painting it, and it just makes it gives it a much more finished look. So that's that. You can leave it like that and put your magnet on the back, or you can paint the back of your stone, which I actually like to do. I like to finish it off with a black paint, and I know I have one here somewhere to show you. So I'm going to let that one sit. So let's say I want to do one out of a vintage magazine. This is cardstock, so it's a little thicker, and it does really well. It doesn't wrinkle. It looks really smooth back there. But thinner images will be a little different. So this one's kind of cool. It's this lady and her child. Or I could do basically it's fun just taking your pebbles and going around and looking for an image. Like I'll take this one. I love this use-in paper. And just move it around until I find a picture that I like. Now here's the second way you do it. If you have a lighter, this one might not show, but I'm just going to draw around with my pencil. This is another way to do it. As you just trace around with your pencil. This is probably a little harder, and I can barely see that, but it's there. I can see it, but not easily. So I'm just going to cut around, and just a slightly smaller So I want to cut inside the line I just did. And the reason I want to cut inside, it just makes it so they don't have to sand off the edge. So this is, you can do it this way. And the same thing, I will just put some some of the glaze on the back and just a little bit. And I'm going to push it down right onto the picture. And you can see I've got I still put too much on there. I kind of overdo it. I don't know why. Because I guess I'm afraid if I don't have enough, it will leave bubbles. You'll have little tiny bubbles that show, and I don't like that. And I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm just going to let that sit until it bonds with the glass, and then I'll move it off. So I'll show you what I mean by the glass acting weird. So you can see, if you see on this one, there's a little bit of bubbling. You could see kind of instead of it being a very smooth, there we go. This one looks better. See, you really don't see any crackling or bubbling because it was thick enough. And this one, it just dried with these weird bubbles. It's not a deal breaker. I'll be okay with that. It just isn't perfect. So I want to show you how, if you do want it perfect and you don't want any clear anything coming out. I mean, you don't want these little flashy bubbles, whatever they are. You just have to go a little thicker. So I'm going to get this, I should show you where that is. Everything is all over the place. So those two, here we go. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, I was going to do one of these with I had an extra O, and I don't know what happened to it. It flew away. And I wanted to tell you what I was going to do with it. I made this. This is actually going to be a tic-tac-toe game. All it is a piece of masonite, and I painted it black first, and then I used some washi tape, and I masked it off, and then I just painted blue and white, I think I brayered it first, and then I used a little fan brush like this just to give it kind of a texture. And next I will glaze it with some outdoor finish so that it's really durable. And my plan is I want to have a tic-tac-toe game. Isn't that fun? So, it could have a little tabletop tic-tac-toe game, and I made 5 X's and 5 O's so that when we play a game, someone gets 5, whatever they get. So I think that's going to be fun. And then I just ordered a 6-inch square one to make little tiny small ones, X's and O's, out of these little glass pebbles. So I just think that is going to be so much fun. So I'm going to do one more. I'll do there it is. I found the O, yay. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. This one is sort of a rough, it has a little bit of a texture. So, and this also has a texture. The backside is a little bit gooey. I mean, there's lumps. And the smoother the finish of the back, the better your like this one's not bad, but there's a little bit of texture. So that is you might have a little bit more success with the total flat, because there won't be any bubbles. They'll be perfectly smooth. So with these, there's just a little bit more glue you'll have to add. So I'm going to use this diamond glaze because it's probably a lot thicker. That one I got to move off. Yay. So now I'm going to just put the diamond glaze on the back. And in this one, I'm going to probably put a little bit more than I would think, just because I want every little nook and cranny to get filled in. And I'm just going to lay this down. That's my little O. I'm going to put it right on. And as I just put it down, and I'm just going to press until I see all the bubbles are gone. And I can move it around a little bit, center it basically. And that looks pretty good. I'm just going to leave it and maybe wipe off the sides a little just to kind of keep it a little clean, if that's possible. And I'll just let that sit for maybe a couple, 3-4 minutes, and then I'll be able to finish. Okay, so the one I had done, it doesn't have any bubbles, so I am very happy with it. And I would recommend the diamond glaze and it's so easy to find over the other one, because this one came out much better and more smooth. So what I'm going to do, because I am a perfectionist, I'm going to soak off, which it's kind of bad, but I'm going to redo the other ones. I can just put this in a thing of the other ones that I don't like, put them in some water and soak them overnight, and then just peel it off. And I can, because I want my game to be really cool, and because I'm going to use it.
So you didn't use the E6000 glue at all?
Okay, no, I didn't use it but I will, I'm going to turn back down that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera back down so I'll show you that. Yes, I forgot to tell you, yes. Okay, so these are ready. This one I'm going to seal. This one I don't think I need to, or I could paint it on the back. Let's see if I can find, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put a magnet on the back. So this one, now, one little trick too is magnets have you have a stronger one than side the other. So I always take it and put it to some metal and see, like here, this is, okay, let's feel, I want to feel which has the highest grab, and that does. So I'm going to put my glue on this side. So that's how you kind of tell. You want to make sure that you have the grab, you want your grab to be stronger on the outside. So, and I'm just going to put a little dab, probably like a small bead, not much, and just put it right on the back. And then just let that cure. A few hours is all I need, and it moves around. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Then there's other magnets you can use. I have this one, it's an industrial magnet. It's so strong. It's very strong. So that will stay on my refrigerator if I want it. And this is actually just a jelly print, and I sketched around on that. And these little guys, I just think they're so cute. I just can't get enough of them. Now this one, see it sticks on there. It's not going. I could put on a big poster or something on my fridge. This one I wanted to share. This was a magazine. Oops, see, this one's still, it's the magnet's still. So I need to move that around, so there we go. So this one I wanted to share a little fail here, but it's not the end of the world, because as you can see, I used this stuff, which it's a lot thinner. So it's nice, but it just isn't meant for these large pebbles. So I have a lot of, looks lumpy, but on this side it doesn't. So you really can't make a mistake at all. So it looks pretty good. I see one little clear crystally bubble, but nothing that's too bad. So I'll just take this and put a little craft paint on the back, and we won't even know. I mean, it will look so much better. So now people, it's nice to have it finished. And then if you want, you could put it like an affirmation on the back. So that would be a fun thing too, is on the fridge, is to have just pictures, really pretty, just whatever pictures that are inspiring to you. And then on the back, either stamp or handwrite stuff. So you can have all these magnets sitting on your fridge, and then you can turn one over and have an affirmation for the day. That would be a really fun thing. And even for kids, have them lower on the refrigerator. So that would be something for your grandkids, Leah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there we go.